Buygones. Magnesium flashbulbs. Magnesium flashbulbs.
What you are seeing is an item of domestic equipment powerful enough to make Hiroshima look like an indoor fireworks display. Before electronic flash guns, this was the only method of artificial lighting available to photographers. In bygone days, there was always a Herbert of an uncle who insisted on taking the wedding photographs using magnesium flashbulbs. This was about as safe and sensible as driving an open-top sports car into a lion's enclosure at a safari park dressed only in a lamb chop tiara and a pair of corned beef boxer shorts, because a single flashbulb contained 17,000 meters of coiled and highly inflammable magnesium wire, which reached temperatures slightly hotter than the surface of the sun.
Okay, come on, say cheese.
3rd-degree burns amongst the wedding party were commonplace, and if they weren't burnt, they were temporarily blinded, with the result that instead of reaching their honeymoon location at Clacton, they instead spent 2 weeks at a closer location, the intensive care ward of their local hospital. Yes, another great British invention, and one which proved the axiom that when it comes to magnesium flashbulbs, me no liker.
Bygone number 2, Disc-a-Down. Disc-a-Down.
Disc-a-Down was BBC Wales' answer to Top of the Pops. Yes, Disc-a-Down was BBC Wales' answer to Top of the Pops. BBC London's answer to Disc-a-Down was to take the bloody thing off. No flowers by request.
Bygone money of the week. The £5 note. The £5 note.
A mass of beautiful blue filigree squiggles with the Queen's head on it. I had at 13 never seen a £5 note, and then one day my elderly Uncle Priper showed me one and said it could be mine if I kissed his tall thin man with the purple head. However, my father was watching through the keyhole, and he called the police. And I think the tall thin man must have been a criminal, because the police came and took him away, and my Uncle Priapus, with a blanket over his head, went with him. And everyone was booing, and I never got my £5 note. Boo-hoo, boo-hoo. Incidentally, we never saw Uncle Priapus again.
Bygone number 3, the U-matic color video recorder. The U-matic color video recorder.
Although today almost everyone owns a videocassette recorder, in 1972 home video was out of the question, unless you had a lot of money and were foolish enough to invest most of it in a U-matic color recorder. Costing slightly more than a house in North London, the U-matic weighed in at well over £300 and produced a shaky, uneven picture which could only be satisfactorily viewed by those with a good sense of rhythm and a proficiency in pogoing. Unfortunately, over the past decade, the U-matic has become obsolete, and it's now impossible to view anything other than programmes from 1972.
Bygone number 4, the James Bond 007 car. The James Bond 007 car.
The most prestigious toy a schoolboy could own in the mid-1960s was the specially adapted James Bond Aston Martin. Its extraordinary special effects can best be appreciated off the road and in the studio. A 1-inch high secret agent stream, this car incorporated a rear bulletproof shield, powerful machine guns concealed in the front bumpers, revolving license plate to foil the swarthy communist villains, and an ejector seat to dispatch unwelcome passengers hell-bent on implanting small pieces of lead into Mr. Bond's brain. The passenger invariably ended up in the deep pile carpet underneath the sofa, where he would remain until
Tuesday, when Mummy sucked him off into the afterlife through the nozzle of her powerful anti-terrorist vacuum cleaner. Sadly, he was by no means the first or the last gentleman to be sucked off by Mummy under the chair, as Daddy's lawyer
pointed out at the divorce proceedings.